In this video, we're going to look at finding the angle between two vectors. So first of all, we have to be dealing with two non-zero vectors in standard position. So it's key that you know that you're starting with the appropriate information. Then the angle between the vectors is always going to be an angle that's between 0 and pi, or 0 and 180 degrees. So you're always going to get the smallest rotation between the two vectors. Then the theta value, so the angle between the vectors, is going to be given by this formula here, which says the cosine of theta is equal to u dot v over the magnitude of u times the magnitude of v. And this formula will be given on your formula sheet. So then to find your angle measure, you're just going to do the inverse cosine of that expression u dot v over the magnitude of u times the magnitude of v. So let's look at an example here. We have the vector v, which is -2, 5, and we have the vector u, which is 2, 3. So remembering our formula that we just talked about, we basically need 3 calculations from that. So we need to know u dot v. So I'm just going to do the dot product, which is going to be 2 times -2 plus 3 times 5, which is going to give us -4 plus 15, so 11. And then I need the magnitude of both of those vectors. I need the magnitude of u, which is going to be the square root of 2 squared plus 3 squared. So that's going to give me the square root of 13. And then I need the magnitude of v, which is going to be the square root of -2 squared plus 5 squared, which is going to give me the square root of 29. So then I have all of the pieces that I need for my formula. So then remember, my formula is the cosine of theta is u dot v over the magnitude of u times the magnitude of v. So now we're just going to plug everything into that. So cosine theta is u dot v, we came up with 11, over the square root of 13 times the square root of 29. So just be careful when you put this in your calculator. This needs to go in parentheses, or you can use that fraction notation. And then we'll end up here with cosine, or theta is going to be inverse cosine of this 11 over radical 13 times radical 29, which is going to give us 50.5 degrees. The theta is 50.5 degrees. So on this second example, we have u as the vector 2, 1, and v as the vector -1, -3. So again, we have those 3 pieces that I need to find. So I need u dot v, which is going to give me 2 times -1 plus 1 times -3, which is going to give me -5. I need the magnitude of u, which is going to give me the square root of 2 squared plus 1 squared, which is going to give me the square root of 5. And I need the magnitude of v, which is going to be the square root of -1 squared plus -3 squared, which is going to give me the square root of 10. So then again, we're going to go with our formula, which is cosine of theta is u dot v over magnitude of u times magnitude of v. So cosine of theta is -5 over square root 5 times square root 10. And then we'll get theta is inverse cosine of -5 over radical 5 times radical 10, which is going to give us 135 degrees. So theta is 135 degrees for my answer.